everyone, MSW here, and welcome to part 2 of my 100 subscriber special. Last time, we went over my current LEGO collection. Check out last week's video if you haven't already done so. It was pretty fun. But over the last year, I have slowly been collecting sets, used clones, and a few new customs along the way. So now, we shall be doubling the clone army size from just about 100 clones all the way to 214 LEGO clone troopers. Let's get into it. So, going over what we got, we'll start with actual sets. This year was the release of the amazing Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack. So of course, I had to pick up some of these. I got 6 in total. It is such a good time to get those sets. And it's such a good time to build up your LEGO army using those. I also grabbed 2 of the 332nd Trooper Battle Packs and 2 of the 501st Specialist Battle Packs. The 332nd Troopers are still pretty common, and I don't think they've quite retired just yet. While even though the Specialist Packs I think are about to retire, I think this year, if I'm remembering correctly, you can still find a ton of them on sale at Amazon and other retail stores for about $12 to $15. So if you're trying to build up some more of your 501st Legion, those are some great picks for sure. The only issue I ran into was having too many Captain Vons. But instead of giving them the visors, if you just give them the antenna viewfinders, they look more like random captains of the 332nd rather than Captain Von themselves, so that definitely helps. I also have something to make my Captain Von kind of stand out more amongst the clones, but more on that later. I also only made 1 Jet Trooper instead of 2, since I have so many Jet Troopers in the 501st, and I'd much prefer to have regular clones rather than Jet Troopers, in my personal opinion. And one more note, I have to say, this was an interesting experience. Opening sets to only take the minifigs out and discarding the other parts felt weird almost. It's something I've personally never done before. I've always just built the set in full, and only building the minifigs felt very odd. But I guess that is a part of clone army building, and it's not like I won't be using the parts from the other sets later on, so it's not like it's a waste. It just felt, again, weird. Next, we have a different kind of official LEGO item, but they aren't necessarily sets. I was able to get a hold of 20 foil packs of clone minifigures. For those that don't know, these are more popular in Europe, and they're usually found with LEGO magazines that are sold or individual packs. I do wish that they would come over to the States and sell them here, because they are such a great find. But to be fair, there is a ton of third-party sellers selling these, and they are a fantastic way to get more minifigs without having that weird problem I talked about where you have just a bunch of extra battle pack parts and such. I, in total, got 10 regular 501st Troopers, gotta increase my favorite Legion, of course. And I also got 10 212th Troopers, so Cody did not feel left out with his measly 3 212th Troopers. Now, it's nice to buy up sets for minifigs, but sometimes we want minifigures that don't really sell in stores anymore. And the only way to do that is to go on to the used market. First, we have a group of 8 more 501st Specialist figures. Now, these guys aren't retired, as I said before, and these guys were about $40, which is overpriced if you look at the figures themselves from buying just the battle pack, but they also included the 501st upgrade kits from the Minifigs For You store. Shout out to David, you are a great inspiration. Knowing these kits were about $15 each new, the $40 for all of them, I felt was worth it, and I scooped them up, mostly to get an idea if I would enjoy buying more of these packs for the specialists. All the other packs that I bought were filled with retired clone troopers, mainly from the 2008 clone era of LEGO, which is a personal favorite of mine. The first pack came with 1 Phase 1 Episode 2 clone trooper, 2 updated clone pilots, 1 Clone Wars era clone jet trooper, and 1 ARF red trooper. The next bag included 3 Clone Wars era troopers and 1 gunner. These most likely came from a 2009 Clone Wars battle pack. Just makes perfect sense in that regard. The next bag had 1 Episode 2 clone, 3 Clone Wars era Phase 1 clones, and what appears to be an attempt from someone to make 2 clone naval officers. It's an interesting idea, and I'm not mad about them. It's kind of why I bought the pack, because I'm like, oh, those are cool. However, they definitely are using a mix of old Empire officer bodies from original trilogy era, and they just have the clone heads and the hairstyle from what you see in the Clone Wars. So they are definitely not official LEGO minifigs from any particular set, but at the same time, they are kind of cool and I do enjoy them. In the next bag, we got 3 Clone Wars era troopers, 1 plane, 1 gunner, and 1 of the yellow pilots, which again is the reason I bought that collection, since those yellow pilots are kind of rare nowadays. The one after that also had 3 clones, but these were the Episode 2 variants, 2 sergeants and 1 reg. Not exactly my favorite era, but when used clones are such a good deal, you kind of have to scoop them up even if they're not your favorite per se. And lastly, of the used clones, the biggest bag was mostly appeared to aim around the Clone Wars era, containing 2 clone gunners, 4 regular clones, 2 complete clone bomb squad troopers, and 1 Horn Company trooper. It also included another bomb squad trooper, though the helmet appears to be missing, and it also included another ARF trooper, except instead of the red arms, this one had black for some reason. I wasn't expecting these figures when I bought these. They kind of just showed up in the bag along with everything else I expected, so I'm not mad that they're here. I am happy to have them. I'll just need to find a random helmet and some red arms off Bricklink to kind of complete them. And lastly, we come to the customs. First, I got 2 items from customs that I think LEGO really needs to make official parts for, but of course they didn't. The first part I got was a small clone jetpack. It's an exact replica of what they would be wearing in the actual Star Wars universe. And I gave this one specifically to Cody. It's just the one thing that was missing from the Commander Cody figure in the ATTE set, and putting that on him just makes this figure feel more complete. The other part I bought, to make Captain Vaughn look more distinct from his 332nd clone counterparts, I got a small custom visor. Though I will admit the orange color from the custom one is a more accurate color of orange to the Clone Wars show, meaning that sticking it onto a LEGO head makes the head and visor not quite match very well. Guess I've got to add a custom helmet to that list of small items to buy in the future. Now, I'll be very upfront with you. Customs are very dangerous, especially for me and my wallet. So instead of spending too much money on specific custom figures, I found out that some places sell mystery packs. So I decided to play it safe, and I got 1 mystery custom. It's a great way to save money, right? No, it wasn't. Turns out mystery boxes in real life are just as addicting as in video games. I should have known this, but I didn't. I know now though, because after that one, I went ahead and I bought 5 more after the first one. So that's just great. And you know what the best part is? The first 3 weren't even clone troopers. The first one didn't even have a head. Mind you, the first one is actually super cool, being it is a custom Anakin Clone Wars kind of body armor minifigure. The colors really pop, and I'm actually really happy I got this one. I decided to get an Anakin head to make him full. The next one was a Shadow Stormtrooper. Again, still super cool, but not a clone. So again, kind of losing out on this. And the last one was on the complete opposite side of the timeline with an Old Republic trooper. Again, very cool, but not clones. And that's what I need. The last 3, luckily, were clone troopers. I got 1 pink trooper, which I don't know if it's a canon figure or not. The only source I could find close to it existing was there was something called a Cupid clone trooper on the wiki. However, that was basically just some video game skin you could buy in some sort of game. But hey, pink's a fun color, and the clone is very well done, so I still have no complaints. The second one was a Phase 1 green clone trooper, which looks really cool. I don't know if green was a color for the like commanding officers, kind of like how red is for sergeant and yellow is commander, blue is captain. I don't know. It could also be them just trying to make a Kashyyyk trooper, but with clone Phase 1, since Phase 1 troopers had a tendency to not be fully cast in color, but just had highlights and still were very white. I don't know, but still very cool and still definitely going to be used. And the last one was actually pretty awesome. We got an amazing Phase 2 Wolf Trooper. This guy looks awesome. And knowing how expensive Wolf Pack troopers are, especially the Lego official troopers, it's hundreds of dollars at this point. It's just too expensive to get nowadays. And so being able to get the custom one just is awesome. But yeah, that was everything I got. So let's now update the clone army and let's see what over 200 Lego clone troopers look like. And here they are. This is crazy. I'm kind of at a loss for words right now, to be completely honest. I'm letting you know right now, I probably am not going to go over and count exact details like I did in the first one. We kind of saw what I updated. The part 1 video is only a week old. You can go back and kind of see what I've got. But man, it's crazy. I barely had enough space in my little work area here to put them all. It took me quite a while to figure out how to separate them and put them everywhere. But yeah, I've got them, and it's kind of crazy. It's genuinely, this is kind of a dream come true. As a kid, I always saw kind of armies on YouTube being built up and be like, that'd be so cool to have something like that. And although this army is much smaller compared to a lot of the other bigger armies they've got out there, this many is still something as a kid I could never comprehend. And I just want to take this moment now. I could not do it without all of you watching. Even though I'm technically only 1/10 to my next goal of trying to actually get to that 1,000 subscribers to actually make some money doing this, getting to the 100 just, it lets me know that I can get that goal someday. It motivates me. It shows that people are interested. And when I started doing this, however many years ago, trying different things not working out, things, yes, working out, like trying to find what I wanted to do, knowing now that I have found that and I have found a rhythm, and knowing that I've posted once a week since September and I'm enjoying it and I'm loving it, it's so great. I'm so happy about it, and you are all the reason that happened. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now, one thing before we get sent off, you're probably wondering where I am going to be doing with all these figures now that I own them. Well, some of you actually get to help me decide that, because later this week, on Friday, the 6th, at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I believe that's noon Pacific Time if I'm remembering correctly, I will be participating in the 2024 Thankmas streaming event, where I will be finally fixing all of that, my entire background. I'm sure as many people have seen, it has looked like a mess, because it is. And now that I have things to put on display, and I want to make that look great. And so I'm going to be doing that. And you are all going to be helping me make it look the best by giving suggestions. I have lights, I've got sets, I've got base plates, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So you all get to help me with that, which will be super fun and super great. And it's all going to a great cause. For all of you that might not know what Thanksmas is, it is a live stream event that is done every year by the one and only Jacksepticeye. The point is to raise money to help those in need. They've done it year after year, and this year the focus is all about mental health. specifically raising money to get more resources for two amazing groups that help promote mental health and are there for people who just need to talk. Those are the Samaritans and the Crisis Text Line. All the money will go towards more resources so they can reach out to more people, and it's just such an important thing. Mental health can sometimes, I think, be ignored or pushed aside, but as someone who has had mental health struggles before, it is important, and helping raise awareness on it is the least I can do as a very small creator. So, on Friday, if you can, please come hang out with me, help me make all of that look good, donate if you can to a great cause, and let's just have a good time. Let's be fun about it. And that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you again for 100 subscribers. I am so excited for what the future holds, and I am so excited for all of you to go along this journey with me. Make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already. Let's get to 200 just as fast. We can do it. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you all Friday or in the next one. Take care.